I brought a beautiful clock as a housewarming gift in China and watched my host's face go pale. Turns out, I'd symbolically wished death upon her family. Meanwhile, my German friend showed up to my birthday empty-handed. Not rude, just culturally appropriate. Gift giving, where good intentions meet ancient symbolism. Let's unpack this.
Welcome back to the Etiquette Enigma, where we decode the invisible rules. Today, gift giving, or as I like to call it, how to accidentally curse someone while trying to be nice.
It's wild how something as simple as, here's a present, can go so spectacularly wrong.
Multiple ways to fail, actually. It's impressively complicated. Okay, so tell me about this clock situation. What happened?
Right, so this was about 5 years ago. I had a colleague, Wei, who invited a bunch of us to her new apartment for a housewarming party.
In China?
She was Chinese, but living in San Francisco. I wanted to bring something nice, so I went to this boutique store and found this gorgeous antique-style clock. Beautifully crafted, kind of expensive. I thought it was perfect for a new home.
Oh no.
I wrapped it beautifully, showed up to the party, handed it to her with this big smile. And her face just froze. Like all the color drained out.
What did she do?
She took it very politely, thanked me, but I could tell something was wrong. She set it aside quickly and kind of avoided me the rest of the night. I was so confused.
Did you find out what happened?
Another colleague, Chinese-American guy, pulled me aside later and explained. In Chinese culture, giving a clock sounds phonetically similar to attending a funeral. It's essentially wishing someone death.
That's so specific.
I know, and I had no idea. I spent weeks feeling terrible about it. I apologized profusely, explained I didn't know, brought her something else. She was gracious about it, but God, I felt awful.
Did your relationship recover?
It did, actually. Once she understood it was pure ignorance and not malicious, we laughed about it. Well, eventually. It took a while for me to laugh about it.
But that's the thing, right? The gift itself was beautiful. The intention was pure. But the cultural meaning completely overwhelmed all of that.
Exactly. And that's when I realized gift giving isn't just about the object. It's about layers of meaning I didn't even know existed.
Quick pause. Huge thanks to everyone suggesting topics. Keep them coming in the comments.
Seriously, your ideas are brilliant.
What cultural mystery should we explore next? Preferably one where we can't accidentally curse anyone.
No promises.
Okay, so clocks are out in Chinese culture. What else is on the forbidden list?
Oh, there's a whole system. Umbrellas, they sound like the word for separation, so they symbolize breaking relationships.
Umbrellas?
Yep. Sharp objects like knives or scissors, they symbolically cut relationships. Sets of 4 anything because 4 sounds like death.
How is anyone supposed to remember all this?
Right? Meanwhile, Americans are just like, here's a candle. Do you like vanilla? We're straightforward.
You're oblivious.
We focus on the thought, not ancient phonetic symbolism.
Which is why you give death clocks.
I learned my lesson.
What about your German friend showing up empty-handed to your birthday? Tell me that story.
Oh, Kirsten. She was my roommate for about a year when I first moved to LA. Wonderful person, we got along great.
What happened?
So my birthday comes around, and I'm American, right? We do birthday parties. I invited a bunch of friends over, nothing fancy, just pizza and drinks at our apartment.
Standard birthday.
Everyone shows up with gifts, cards, wine, little presents, normal stuff. Kirsten shows up empty-handed, just walks in with nothing.
How did you feel?
Honestly hurt at first. Like, did she forget? Does she not care? We lived together. Surely she knew it was my birthday.
Did you say anything?
Not right away. I didn't want to be rude or make her feel bad, but it definitely stung.
What happened?
A few days later, we were talking about the party, and I made some comment about gifts. Nothing accusatory, just mentioning what people brought. And she looked confused. She said, "Why would guests bring gifts to your birthday?"
What did she mean?
In German culture, or at least her family's practice, the birthday person hosts. You're treating your friends. They're your guests. They don't bring you gifts. You're celebrating with them.
That's completely backwards from American culture.
Exactly. Right. Americans expect guests to bring gifts to the birthday person. Germans expect the birthday person to treat the guests. Same event, opposite expectations.
Did you feel better once you understood?
So much better. And honestly, it made more sense in some ways. Like, I'm celebrating another year of life, so I'm sharing that celebration with people I care about. Why should they give me stuff?
Very German logic.
Very. And once I understood, I stopped taking it personally. She wasn't being thoughtless, she was being culturally appropriate.
It's interesting how much emotional weight we put on these things without realizing they're cultural.
Yeah. I felt genuinely hurt before I understood. And she probably had no idea I was upset.
What about Japan? I've heard gift giving there is incredibly elaborate.
Oh, it is! The wrapping is almost more important than the gift itself.
Really?
Absolutely. There's this whole art to it. The paper, the technique, the presentation. It shows care, effort, respect. I had a Japanese professor in grad school who invited a few of us to her house once.
Tell me.
So we wanted to bring her something to thank her for having us over. I asked another student, she was from Japan, what would be appropriate. She spent like 30 minutes explaining the rules.
30 minutes?
I'm not exaggerating. She explained that we should bring omiyage, regional specialty gifts. They should be beautifully wrapped. We should present them with both hands. And then, this was the part that confused me. We should downplay them.
Downplay them?
Like, this is just a small thing, or it's nothing special, even though you've spent time and money selecting and wrapping it carefully.
Why?
It's humility. You're not showing off or expecting praise for your gift. You're showing respect by not making a big deal of your generosity.
That's actually really beautiful.
It is. But as an American, my instinct was to be like, I got you this amazing thing, which would have been completely wrong.
How did it go?
Really well, actually. We followed the student's advice and our professor was so gracious. She accepted the gift formally, thanked us properly, and later sent us each a thank you note. The whole thing felt like a choreographed dance, but in a meaningful way.
Like everyone knew their part.
Exactly. And that's when I realized that gift giving in some cultures isn't casual, it's ritual. And rituals matter.
What about the refusal ritual? I've heard about that.
Oh, yes. In many Asian and Middle Eastern cultures, you're supposed to refuse a gift at least once before accepting it.
Wait, refuse it?
It's politeness theater. Someone offers you a gift, you say, oh no, you shouldn't have, or I can't accept this. They insist. You refuse again, maybe. They insist again. Then you accept.
That's so elaborate.
Right? But it serves a purpose. The giver shows generosity. The receiver shows humility and doesn't appear greedy.
What happens if an American gives a gift to someone from that culture?
We Americans think it's done and walk away. The other person is waiting for the insistence that never comes.
So both people are confused.
Completely. The giver thinks, why didn't they accept it? The receiver thinks, why didn't they insist? Have you experienced this?
Yes, actually. I had a colleague from Iran, Reza, who did beautiful calligraphy as a hobby.
What happened?
I complimented a piece he'd done, just casually said, that's really beautiful. And he immediately tried to give it to me.
Just like that?
Just like that. And I was like, oh no, I couldn't. I genuinely meant it. It was his work. I was just complimenting it. But he kept insisting.
And you kept refusing.
For a bit, yeah. Until another colleague, who was Middle Eastern, pulled me aside and whispered, he's being generous. You're supposed to accept after the third offer.
Did you?
I did. And Reza seemed genuinely happy that I accepted. Later I learnt that in his culture, admiring something someone owns might prompt them to offer it as a gift. It's extreme generosity.
That's actually really beautiful, but also kind of anxiety-inducing. Like, you have to be careful what you compliment.
Exactly. I became very cautious after that. Nice house you have. Wait, no, I don't want it.
Lovely car, just looking, not requesting.
The compliment minefield. What about money? Is giving money ever appropriate?
That's incredibly cultural. In Chinese culture, red envelopes with money are traditional for celebrations.
Like weddings?
Weddings, New Year, birthdays. But there are rules. The amount matters. No sets of 4, remember? And it should be new, crisp bills.
New bills?
It shows you put thought into it. You went to the bank specifically to get fresh money. It's not just whatever you had in your wallet,
That's such a specific level of care.
right? Everything's intentional. What about Western cultures?
Money is tricky. For kids, it's usually fine. Birthday cards with cash, that kind of thing. For adults, it can feel impersonal, unless it's specifically expected.
Like weddings, right? Exactly. Weddings are one of the few adult occasions where money is not only acceptable, but often preferred. But even then, there are cultural differences in how you give it.
How so?
In Italian-American weddings, there's often a specific table or box for envelopes. It's expected. In some other cultures, you'd never give money at a wedding because it seems transactional. So the same gift can be perfect or insulting depending on the context.
Everything's context.
What about refusing gifts? Can you actually say no?
That's complicated. In some cultures, refusing outright is incredibly rude.
Why?
Because you're not just refusing an object, you're rejecting the person's goodwill, the relationship.
So even if you don't want it,
You accept it to preserve the connection, because the relationship matters more than the object.
that's actually profound when you think about it. The gift is just the vehicle for expressing care.
Exactly. Which is why getting it wrong feels so bad. It's not just a mistake, it feels like a rejection,
Even when it's not.
even when it's completely unintentional.
That's heavy.
But also hopeful, because it means everyone's trying to connect. We're just using different languages.
So what's the actual solution here? How do you navigate this?
Research. Seriously, if you're going to someone's home or attending an event in a culture you're not familiar with, Google it. What's appropriate to bring to a particular culture dinner party is a very searchable question.
And it can save you from giving someone a death clock.
Or showing up empty-handed when you should have brought wine. And watch how people give you gifts. That's often how they expect to receive.
Right. If they're elaborate, they probably expect effort back. If they're casual, you can be too. And if you mess up, apologize and learn.
Most people are gracious when they understand it was ignorance, not malice. Though, maybe skip the clock next time.
Definitely skipping the clock. Any other universal rules?
Be thoughtful. Even if you don't know all the cultural specifics, genuine thought usually comes through.
Right. Did you put effort into selecting something? Did you consider the person? That usually matters more than perfect execution.
Though perfect execution doesn't hurt.
No, but it's not always necessary. Intent counts for a lot, as long as you're willing to learn when you get it wrong.
Which brings us back to that. Learning, adapting, not taking it personally when someone operates differently.
Because they're probably just trying to be generous in their own cultural language.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us on the Etiquette Enigma.
Remember, research before you gift. And if you accidentally give someone a clock in China,
Apologize profusely. And bring chocolates.
not in sets of 4.
Obviously. And when in doubt, just ask. What's appropriate to bring? Most people appreciate the question.
Better to ask than to accidentally curse someone.